Hi, everybody. This is SAAD. Earlier this morning, I saw a keynote address by the comedian and actor Sacha Cohen. Many of you know him as Borat and all the Ali G and all the other funny skits that he's done through out the past several years, and I've certainly been a fan of some of his work. So he was giving a keynote address at the Anti-Defamation League, where he was talking about how there needs to be a greater oversight of social media companies, that they should be more proactive in intervening to stop the spread of falsehoods and, of course, hate speech. Of course, the key issue is what constitutes hate speech for one person doesn't constitute hate speech for another. The problem was, of course, in his speech, as you might imagine, his definition of what would constitute an intervention was way broader than I would feel comfortable with as a free speech absolutist. You don't intervene to correct falsehoods in a free society. And so here is the message that I had written to him. By the way, I will post a link to the actual speech by Sacha Baron Cohen, so you could read the speech and then you could maybe again listen to my response. So here we go. Dear Sacha Baron Cohen, I am a dogged defender of truth, an evolutionary behavioral scientist, and I happen to be Jewish. As such, Holocaust deniers and evolution deniers are not my favorite folks in the world, and yet I support their right to spew their grotesque, if not imbecilic, falsehoods. In a free society, we do not shut down people because they are wrong, idiotic, imbecilic, mean-spirited, etc. The only time that you should be condoning that social media companies intervene is for libel/defamation and a direct incitement to violence. Never should you be promoting the idea that entities should monitor the veracity of someone's speech, as he did, by the way. Now, of course, I didn't mention other cases where freedom of speech issues don't apply, right? I mean, you can't set up a portal to engage in pedophilia and then argue, bruh, free speech. So, the usual caveats. So, to repeat, you defeat falsehoods with truths and not via censorship. Incidentally, for many statements, it is unclear what is true or not. Is Trump responsible for the low level of black unemployment, or should Obama take credit for it? Is Trump lying if he aggrandizes his accomplishments? Bottom line, if you support freedom of speech, you support the right of Holocaust deniers to spew their BS. I hope that this helps the Anti-Defamation League and Sacha Baron Cohen as they navigate the thorny issues associated with freedom of speech in free societies. Cheers. So again, to reiterate, the idea that because Jews have suffered greatly, and of course, the most clear instantiation of that is the wholesale extermination or attempt to exterminate the whole people called Jews in the Holocaust. Nothing could be more grotesque and an attack to truth than those who seek to deny it. Yet in a free society, that's how you measure whether you are truly for freedom of speech or not. You take the most extreme case of something that is unimaginably offensive and you say, are you willing to support it? So I'm an evolutionary behavioral scientist. I support the right of creationists to spew their BS. It's difficult to imagine scientifically a greater falsehood than to deny evolution. It's difficult to imagine a greater example of a historical falsehood than to deny that the Holocaust happened. Yet, we don't monitor that. And this is not an issue of whether the companies are private or whether it's the government or not. The reflex that we should be monitoring people's speech as a function of whether we consider them to be true or not is a fundamental violation of what it means to live in free societies. You defeat bullshit with truths. So let the bullshitters come out of the woodwork, and then let's slay their idiocy one moron at a time. Have a good weekend, everybody.